We are thrilled to be joined by Professor Francis X. Clooney this evening, Parkman Professor of Divinity and Director of the Center for the Study of World Religions at Harvard University. After earning his doctorate in South Asian Languages and Civilizations at the University of Chicago, he taught at Boston College until joining Harvard in 2005. A seasoned author, Professor Clooney's primary areas of scholarship are theological writings in the Sanskrit and Tamil traditions of Hindu India, the purpose for which he has spent ample time in the country over the years. Having met Dr. Martin at Harvard a number of years ago, Professor Clooney has followed the development of the higher education program, Clooney. Over the past few days, he has had the opportunity to meet with Asha students in their homes, as well as explore how his own students might develop their contribution to the Asha vision. It is an absolute honour to have him here with us, and we hope it will be the start of many such visits to us here in Delhi. I now welcome Professor Clooney to the podium and invite him to share his thoughts with us.
Greetings, everyone. To increase the enrichment of this evening, I bring yet another language to our conversation, American English. So excuse my accent as I speak as an American. I'm very honored to be here tonight as a visitor to Asha, to be here with the distinguished members here on the podium, with my dear friend Kieran Martin, with many of you who have helped in so many ways to make Asha come real, but especially to Pinky and the children of the different neighborhoods and their families, their mothers and fathers and friends who have come here. I'm very honored to be with you tonight. As a Harvard professor, my first instinct in preparing for tonight was to go to my Sanskrit dictionary and to look up the word Asha, hope. And I found that perhaps one of the oldest references to Asha in India is in the Chandogya Upanishad, where two of the great rishis of ancient India, Narada and Sanat Kumar, have a conversation about what counts in life. There is name, there is form, there is fire, there is water, there is earth, there is the body, there is the soul, and at the end of the list, there are three things left that are the most important of all. The first of the three is memory, to remember where you come from. And I think our program tonight reminds us that we cannot go into the future without remembering where we come from. The last item on the list is life, prana. To be fully alive is the goal. If one is fully alive, that is the goal of our life. That is what we hope for. There is nothing greater than to have prana, to be in life. But between memory and prana, there is asha, hope. Hope enables us to live. Hope enables us to grow beyond our past. Hope enables us to do what we need to do. It is hope that enables us to be fully alive. And that testimony of ancient India, some 3,000 plus years ago from the rishis, I have seen manifest in the last several days by visiting Asha, by visiting different neighborhoods, by visiting families, to see so many stories that if the rishis of ancient times could talk about Asha as important for life, then seeing our children, seeing these young scholars, and seeing their families changing and growing, making difficult choices about risking for an education, taking the time to travel to the colleges, taking time to study late at night, risking entrance examinations, doing all the hard work in education, that is life coming to life now. The Asha that we heard in the ancient times is the Asha that each of our young students is manifesting in the year 2011. And there is this great continuity from then until now. But I realize that one of the great things about this program of Asha and the wonderful work of Dr. Martin and her colleagues is that it gives hope, yes, to the scholars, the students, and their families, but also to us, all of us. There are so many reasons in life where we can become hopeless and say that evil is greater than good, that there are too many problems in the world that we cannot do anything about, that we have to give up in the face of poverty and say, too bad, I wish them well. And yet Asha has enabled all of us to go from being hopeless to having hope. That we are not helpless in the face of these problems, but that all of us can make some contribution. We are arranging a program, arranging a bank loan, giving our time in the summer, saying the prayers, gathering together as friends and visiting one another. No one needs to be helpless. None of us needs to believe that evil is greater than good, because hope always wins out. And that is a great inspiration. I've also learned from Dr. Martin and seeing the work of Asha that we never give up on anyone. That people can say the bureaucracy or the government can't do anything in today's India. That is obviously not true. Some of the leaders of our country come and show us that things can change. Or even when there is resistance in some neighborhoods, saying it is not possible for change to take place, people who were not friends begin to become friends. People who were enemies at first become friends of Asha and developers of the work. So this wonderful example of Asha, and all of us as people, as young people, as old people, as people here, as people around the world, gives us hope in a very real sense. But I think it's also a religious motivation. Asha tells us something about what God has planned for us. For in the depth of our hearts, in the depth of our lives, the hope that rises in us is not simply what you and I do as individuals, but what God is planning within us. And I'll read you one passage from St. Paul in the New Testament. Therefore we have peace with God through our friend Jesus Christ, through whom we have obtained access to this grace in which we boast in our hope of sharing the glory of God. And not only that, we know that in our sufferings we become strong. We know that suffering produces endurance, that endurance produces character, that character produces hope. And hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured out in our hearts through the Holy Spirit that has been given to us. When we gather here tonight, we're not simply the people of this world, the people of Delhi, but the presence of God is here giving us hope, and that is a great inspiration. Or as Mahatma Gandhi said, I was reading some of his comments on Satyagraha, nonviolent love force, which I think is at the heart of Asha. He said, if you want to understand what our nonviolent Satyagraha is, the method of Satyagraha requires that the Satyagrahi never loses hope as long as there is the slightest ground left for it. And no matter how many great problems face us in the future, to work non-violently for the improvement of all our people is a sign of the hope of Satyagraha. Where he also said, the Satyagrahi has infinite patience, abundant faith in others, and the fullness of hope. And therefore I close by just saying one of my hopes for the future, and what I learned in visiting different neighborhoods in the past few days, is that in a time and age when there seems to be so much religious conflict, when people of different religions are pulling back and seeing the other as an enemy, the other as somebody to be afraid of, the other as somebody to strike out at, Asha is giving us hope that whatever our religion, whether we are Sikh or Hindu, Muslim or Christian, whatever background we have, because we care for one another, because we love our brothers and sisters, we come together in hope. And I think part of the story of Asha that is to be told in the next few years is how religious differences turned into religious friendships. And the neighborhoods of Delhi, where you all come from, are the neighborhoods in which the new harmony of religion is coming to life in India today. Thank you.